Hello, everyone. Welcome. It's December 2025, the energy update with my dear friend Jeremy.
Hi, everyone.
Jeremy, it's good to see you.
Good to see you. How
Oh
you
my,
doing?
um, well, shit's crazy. Like, no matter where you turn and what you do, something wacky is happening. And it just dawned on me that the full moon is tomorrow, and
Yeah.
my body is pulsating and aching, and the computers are breaking down. What's going on in your world?
But I mean, all of the same. All of the same. A
Yeah,
lot of technical difficulties since the Mercury retrograde and getting ready for the full moon tomorrow. And yeah, yep,
yeah.
that's about it.
I mean, I'm seeing things online like all these solar flares and these like really deep earthquakes, and I mean, we're
Yeah.
seeing even on Earth like these volcanoes and these really extreme events happening. I mean, that's big energy that's got to rock the rest of us.
Yeah. And it's kind of giving us a kind of a glimpse as to the energy we're going to be experiencing next year.
Yeah, I think you're right on with that.
Yeah. That young fire horse is getting ready to come in. And I think that the horse is already rushing in
Yeah,
even before February 4th. So,
I agree.
yeah.
I think he's here and we need to act quick.
Yeah. And what I find interesting about this time of year, starting from December, January, February, is there's kind of, I've noticed, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I've noticed there's always kind of a handoff between the year animals, right?
Mm.
There's kind of a blending of those two energies for the
Oh,
last 3 months.
interesting.
So it's kind of like it's like the last chance, your last chance to really take advantage of the snake energy. What are
Mm-hmm.
you letting go of? What are you transforming?
Mm.
What are you stepping into? Because once you step into that new energy, the fire horse is going to take it and run, and there's
Yeah,
no taming this horse. None.
exactly. Yeah. I like that you said that. I think that coming together, how I've witnessed it, what you're talking about is people who are choosing to be present. Let's stay with the snake energy. Yes, out
Hmm.
here, I can see people are wanting to grab the reins of the horse. Let's move into
Yeah.
the next year already. But if you're not dealing with the crap that's in your space right now,
Yeah.
like you said, that's it's going to be blown up exponentially next year.
And you're
And
just
it's
going to
just,
carry it in. You're going to carry it with you into next
yeah.
year.
And I think the snake has been such a gift. It's
Mhm.
been so freaking hard, but it's allowing us to go deep and release this stuff, the
Yeah.
trauma, the patterns, the belief systems, and
Yeah.
all of that stuff. Yeah, well, I could. We don't have time to get into the horse here today. We're going to talk
No.
about right now this little
Yes.
box, these 30 days that we're going into.
Yes. I love it.
Yeah, so young Earth rat.
Young
Tell
Earth
us
rat.
about rat. You're very familiar with rat, you and
Well,
your
I have a
husband.
rat in my emotions pillar, my hour pillar. And it's kind of an interesting animal because the rat was the first to win the celestial race, right? So it's the first animal in the Chinese zodiac. And the the rat is the strengths of the rat are it's very strategic. It likes to plan. It likes to have a thought process behind everything. But the reason for that is because it needs to protect itself. It doesn't really have a lot of defense mechanisms. So it
Mm,
waits until the nighttime to come out between the cracks, right? So
yeah.
that it can venture out and see what's going on in the world. So it's very, very cautious. It's a very cautious animal. And I find all of those traits within myself,
Mm,
good, bad, and ugly. But I think that the rat is a really interesting animal in the Chinese zodiac because it always falls on the month of December, which is the last month of the year, but it's the first sign in the zodiac.
yeah. It's a
So
it's
it's
a it's like that kind of that push pull that you were talking about before, I think is is part of that too.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, because there's one sense we're winding down, it's winter, we're supposed to go internal and be quiet, and that's somewhat rat energy.
Hmm.
Um, but I love all the qualities that you said about rat. And as you were talking, I thought, I don't think rat gets the credit it deserves, because I can remember talking to the owner of the Asian city, that big store here up in South Jordan. And
Yeah.
I'm like, are you ready for the year of the rat? And he's like, no, we don't like rats. They bring disease. And then,
Hmm.
sure as hell, 3 months later, when I was talking to him, COVID hit.
Yeah.
And so it's like, oh, I didn't realize that that culture, wasn't in favor of the rat energy. But like you
Right.
said, the planning, the ideas, the inventions, the foresight, really like rat's small and it's really detail oriented. And I see that in you, like in this course you're creating and stuff, just refining the details. But I wonder how that works in your emotional pillar. Like, are you just nitpicking and really
Oh,
chewing and
yeah.
gnawing at those things?
Oh, all the time, which is why I struggle with mental illness. And I think that it's that behind the scenes that
Mm,
nobody sees, right? Because the rat works behind the scenes. It likes to
yeah.
be in the dark. That is constantly moving in my mind and in my emotional
Hmm.
energy.
Wow. Well, the rat is ruling the month, and he's a water animal. And
Hmm.
so that speaks to of that the flow or the beginning, right? We were birthed through water, and so that's another one energy or first energy.
Yeah.
However, it's a young earth rat, meaning like when you look in your four pillar chart, there's an element on the top and then an animal below. That's what this means. So it's a young earth rat.
Yeah.
I have a picture of that. It's like when you take a hike up to the mountains and you reach a point and it's like, oh, there's a lake up there. How cool, right? You don't expect
Hmm.
the lake. It's not stocked with fish because trucks can't get up there. But there's a lake and it's probably got some critters in it. But it's this mountain, this huge energy that's holding this little lake.
Hmm.
But I see that as okay, in one sense, the lake is being held, it's safe, it's contained, but it's not flowing. It doesn't have direction, it's not going anywhere until it overflows. So it feels to me like we can either take this energy as, oh, I can feel safe, which I think is really good energy for the rat to feel that sense of safety. But I
Yeah.
feel like if you're wanting movement and propulsion, I don't think it's going to happen because it's a still lake. That's
Right.
my vision. What do you picture?
I love that visual because as you were talking, I was remembering when I was younger, um, as when I was a Boy Scout, we went to the Grand Tetons and we hiked to the Grand Tetons.
Really?
And we got all the way to the very top of the big one. And as you looked down, you could see all of these little
Mm,
tiny lakes that
mm,
were
mm.
right at the very tops of the mountains that
Yeah.
were probably just created from the glaciers, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there were little creatures that kind of came around, but they were really peaceful. There was no tide. They just were
Yeah.
very still waters, which I found really, really kind of interesting. But the
Mm-hmm.
cool thing about those waters and those lakes were they were crystal clear.
Yeah.
You could see all the way down to the bottom, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that that's a really great visual for December. We're slowing down because the
Mm.
winter's coming.
Yeah.
We need to really lock into our emotional energy and really kind of access some of that water. But the young earth is the element that controls water. It guides it. It guides the flow of it.
Mm-hmm.
So this isn't a month to really push the narrative. This is a month to go with the flow.
Yeah. And maybe create space, hold space for whatever it is that you're working on. I love your
Yeah.
visual. I love what you said too, that the water's just like so crystal clear,
Yeah.
right? When it's not turbulent, we can
Hmm.
see what's kind of hidden underneath. And so
Right.
maybe it's a time to like create safe space for us to seek a little deeper, a little more clarity.
Yeah.
Oh, I love
And
that.
and you have to be able to stop. You have to stop and look into the water, right?
Hmm.
If we're moving and going, and rats are pretty busy, right? Rats want to get things done. They want to stockpile shit for the winter so that they have enough, right? So there's this kind of frantic mentality of I've got to get going. It's the beginning, right?
Hmm.
But if we can just stop the frantic energy and really just stop and look into the water and kind of
Hmm.
into this emotional energy, that's, I think, going to be our saving grace this month.
I love that. That's such brilliant tips. I think the timing, to me, everything's divine timing.
Mhm.
But I think the timing of this rat in front of the horse energy, because the horse doesn't get along with the rat. So
Yeah.
it's kind of a trigger point, I think, for the horse. Maybe, you know, don't, if you have a horse in your chart, don't be surprised if you get spooked by this energy, if you're overreactive with December. Typically, you don't manage December energy well. It's
Yeah.
because the rat and the horse clash. And if that happens, stop, check in with yourself. What is that? And use the rest of this snake year to figure that out,
Yeah.
so that when you come into next year's energy, that's something that you kind of got a handle on it. You've been working on it for, because we have 2 months left now.
Yeah.
Let's make the best of this. Any
Yeah.
other tips for the horse?
No, I mean, this month, especially if you do have a horse in your chart, um, it's best to lay low.
Yeah.
It's best to just kind of take it easy, even though
Mm.
we feel the energy of the horse coming in for the year. The rat's still in charge this month. So,
I'm going to tag my daughter in this.
yeah, you've got a horse.
Double
She has
horse
horses.
girl. Lay
Yeah,
low.
yeah,
Not going to happen.
yeah, laughable, right?
What other animal do you think is going to have a tough time with the rat?
Um, let's see. What do you think? I don't have my list in front of me.
Well,
I
the
forgot it.
rabbit. The rabbit and the rat
Oh,
is a penalty, and you,
oh, that's right. And
that's
I
a.
have a rat and a rabbit. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
this December has always been one of those months that I'm like, oh, do I
Mm,
want to do December? Even though I have a rat and that's not bad for the rat. I
yeah.
do have a rabbit, and the rabbit is that penalty is kind of an interesting one because it's a penalty of unkindness. It's the penalty of saying things before you really think about them.
Mm,
Because, I mean, when you think of the visual of rats and rabbits, they're both really anxiety-ridden creatures because
yeah.
they're always looking for either a way to get out or a way to avoid because they
Mm-hmm.
don't have any defense mechanism, right?
Yeah.
Same with the rabbit. It's kind of a docile creature, but man, it can get the hell out of there really quick. So that's why I've always really struggled with December because I kind of want to skip it. I kind of want to avoid it because I
Mm-hmm.
do have that penalty of, you know, saying things that I maybe need to think about before I say them.
Mm. And that might be just part of the quickness of those animals. Quick react and then
Yeah. And then
bolt.
abort. Yeah. Get out of here. Yeah.
The rooster and the rat don't get along. So if you
Mhm.
have rooster in your chart, look for ways in which you might be feeling trapped. I'm sorry, I've got part of my notes are covered up here.
Hey, you remembered your notes. I left mine upstairs.
Well, hey, when you're kind of living in two different places, that's understandable. I have a note here. This is a weird breakup. So this rat can create damaging consequences for the rooster. So be very mindful. The rooster is very intellectual, so be very mindful and watch. I'm trying to say this in a non-judgy way, and hopefully everything we're saying is not judgy because we're just reading the energy and our interpretation of it.
Yeah.
But there is a propensity to abuse, substance abuse,
Oh,
spending, that
okay.
kind of stuff for the rooster.
Mm,
So if
yeah.
you, I mean, maybe you need to do all your Christmas shopping in July and
Yeah.
not wait till the last minute in
That's
December
a good
and not
idea.
overdo it with the Christmas parties and events and stuff.
Yeah.
Just watch that because those are the damaging consequences. It's like,
Hmm.
oh no, now it's January and you get your Visa credit card bill and you're like, what the heck happened? Or you put on
Yeah.
5 pounds or you're hungover. That's not a good way to start the new year off or end this year either.
Yeah.
Other than that, though, all the other animals have a decent relationship. Anything else you want to add?
No, I love that. That's great.
Well, let's pull a card.
Okay. I'm pulling from, I think I pulled from this deck last month, but it's the
Mm-mm.
Colette Baron Reed's Enchanted Map deck. And I love this deck. I think this is
It's
a
a
great
great deck
one.
for right now.
Oh, interesting. Okay. So this is an interesting card. It says stuck in the mud, and it's
Oh,
this image of this elephant that's really trying really, really hard to move through things. But the interesting thing that I like about this card is if you look really closely, there's a little bird that's perched right on top of the elephant. So what I see in this image is possibilities, right?
mm,
For example, the water image that you gave us, it's still, it's stagnant. It's not necessarily going to move in the directions that you want it to.
mm-hmm,
So, if this month ends up being kind of like last month and just pausing, then use the pause. What can
mm-hmm.
you do in this moment right now
Yeah.
that's right in front of you that you can focus on rather than focusing on the horse rushing in and
Mm-hmm.
pulling us into 2026? It's not 2026 yet.
Yeah.
So if we can really pause and look deep into the waters all the way down to the bottom, I think that we can find that's where we find the treasure this month.
Yeah. I you you said something that has a deep meaning to me, and it was a very very hard lesson. When we rush things, we really we disrupt our alignment, the natural flow
Mm.
of the energy, and we
Yeah.
cause harm to ourselves and to others.
Mhm.
And so, yes, part of the world might seem like it's rushing by and you can't keep up. Be okay with where you are
Yeah.
and use that visual, even meditate with that visual, like you're sitting on the mountain, you're sitting next to this still pond, this lake, watching the wildlife come slowly in. Just allow nature, energy, life, your path to run its course. Not
Yeah.
worrying about what everybody else is doing and how quickly they're achieving this or going through this. It's so harmful. Just
Yeah.
take the moment as it is. I love that card. What a good visual too of that elephant. If he, when we're in the struggle, sometimes we panic, right? And
Hmm.
it makes it worse. Slow down. Maybe
Yeah.
help will show up. We're here for you.
Well, and then there's also a little bird there,
Yeah.
right? So I think that if you can pause and realize that there's wings to the situation, you can fly, maybe not in the direction that you thought you were going to, though,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and maybe not as quickly as you thought.
Yeah.
That's something I've learned over the last couple of years with going through health issues is I've spent a majority of my life pushing,
Mm.
and my days of pushing are over. My
Yeah.
body is now my sounding board to say, "Oh, you're doing too much, idiot. Sit down."
Listening.
So so it's one of those things where if you can take this as an opportunity, and even if you are feeling stuck in the mud, that's okay. There's still
Mm.
opportunities that are right in front of you, but you have to
Yeah.
open your eyes to them.
Yeah. Yeah. Beautiful. Thank you so much. Reach out, comment below if you have any concerns about the month.
Yes, but I also wanted to make sure that everybody knows that the Chinese New Year event is coming up.
Thank
What
you.
dates? I think it's what is it? The
January
17th
16th and 17th.
and 17th.
Yep. Comment below or touch base with one of us to get a link to that. Thank you for mentioning that.
Yes.
Really
It's the
super
event
excited.
of the year. I
And you're going to
cannot
be a big part of it.
I'll be there. I'll
Yep.
be there with bells on.
Yeah.
But I can't stress enough how much this event really centers and just grounds the energy for the year. And I keep going back and watching little snippets all throughout the year
Mm,
because it really reminds me of what the energy is going to be, how I can manage it, and how I can
hmm.
work with it rather than the energy working against me or me working against it.
Yeah.
So if you're interested in knowing what the year ahead is going to look like, get a ticket. It's going to be the best.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It is. Looking forward to it. Thanks, friend.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
everyone. Bye bye.
Have a good month, everyone.
You too.